Hey everyone, how's everybody doing today? Welcome to the continuation from yesterday's live stream where I do photo editing live to your pictures that you submit, and I also put my image out there for you guys to edit to see what you guys do. And I try to give you ones that I had trouble with because I'm always impressed with what you guys can do with my photo that I was at a total loss for. And yeah, gosh, I got to figure out a way to get through these edits a little faster so it's not taking 4 hours to finish a stream, because it's even if I just do 5 minutes a picture and I get 20 pictures, that's well, that's about 2 hours, right? And so I don't know, what do you guys think? I can go back to using my little 4 minute timer and get through the edits quickly as I possibly can, or I can just take my time with them a little bit, rushing it a little, but not so much that I compromise what I think my final vision might be. So give me some feedback on that in the chat. I'll check it later because I always rewatch the streams to kind of check the feedback. And I see Garrett's here, and I know you're having trouble accessing the forum, and I can't figure out why. I made sure your IP wasn't blocked. I made sure all your permissions were correct to the forum. And other people are accessing the forum recently without any issues. So the only thing really left is clearing your cache in your browser, and then maybe trying to access it from a different internet provider. Maybe go to like a Wi-Fi hotspot or something and see if you can get in that way. If that's the case, then it's probably the IP company just decided to block, you know, a block of sites, because I use a shared server, over here for my hosting company. And, if there's spammy sites on that server, outside of my own, uh, they're going to just block everything coming off of that server. And that might be what's happening. And that's always been a problem. It's come up time to time, uh, very rarely though, but time to time, I do hear people saying, I can't access your site. My ISP has blocked everything off that server. So anyhow, that's my best guess. Let's see who else is here. Soft Fun is back. Dave, John, good to see you. And Bang Bung. Oh, Michael's here. Awesome, from Thailand. Marsha, always good to see you. So a lot of people are back from yesterday. Matt, John Yutse, Raho. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Plato, good to see you. Billy Bob Barbell, isn't it time for a city street photo? Yeah, it's been a while. Um, I've been busy, actually. I shouldn't turn this into like a normal live stream where I just jibber jabber, but I've been working on my curriculum for my class, live in classroom training. So I haven't had a lot of time to actually go out and do photo walks and things. Developing a curriculum is actually quite time consuming. But hopefully that'll translate into more tutorials that I can make for YouTube, because once I develop the materials and the curriculum, everything's done really. I just have to do it in front of a camera instead of in front of a classroom, right? I was thinking about maybe even streaming the classrooms themselves live, kind of like B&H used to do, or they still do. They have a guest come on and they talk for a couple hours and teach people stuff. But anyhow, let's go ahead and get to the photos. Let me know what you guys think about those ideas. I'll talk about them again maybe on Sunday. And I'm still looking for people to come in and join me live on a stream, kind of like a Zoom call, where people can, because a lot of you come back all the time, and I'm sure we're all curious to see what you look like and hear your thoughts directly rather than through a chat section. So just email me, rob@robtrek.com, if you're interested in doing that. Okay, so let me switch over to my other screen. Ooh, nice, Andrew. You got a Pen F. That's awesome. Um, Yeah, I still love my Pen F. I should take it out this weekend. Let me get to the right window. Cam right. There we go. Okay, let me clear my throat. Now I'm a little cotton mouth. Let me get a water real quick. Okay, now we're good. Oh, you like the IT Crowd, huh? Yeah, I love that show. That's got to be one of my favorite shows of all time. I mean, if someone were to ask me like what TV shows that, you know, if I could just have forever and watch over and over again, IT Crowd would definitely be one of them. Um, I just love that show. Okay, yeah, IT Crowd was awesome, right? They were. I mean, you have to be a little bit of a nerd to appreciate a lot of the jokes and the personalities in the show. Um, but they had Jen there, which I think a lot of people can relate to. You know, I'll never forget that episode where she's like, "What does IT mean?" Right? She kept asking Moss what IT means, but he was like stuck in a machine. God. And then she went to the interview and they asked her, "What does IT mean?" And nobody knew. It just cracks me up. And for a second, I had to think about it. Yeah, what the? Because you never say it out loud, right? Information technology. But okay, let me see. Where do we leave off here? I've done these. I've done these. Let's do Neo's. He sent in two, but they're both excellent images. So I wanted to, since I have some time today, I can do this one. Um, Another great shot. I mean, his previous shot, this one I did yesterday, which was pretty awesome. And this is the edited version. All I did was basically add a retro kind of vibe to it. But this one here, I'm going to go... I mean, the most interesting thing actually is this jar. Like he's taking donations or something. I don't know. And then he's smoking a joint, it looks like. Or handmade cigarette. Uh, oh, Neo, you're here. You're in IT yourself, huh? Okay, I think actually for this image, a black and white would make sense here. Well, let me apply my basic preset for black and white. Yeah, right away that feels more powerful. And I'm gonna crop it. I think because what I want to do is I want to be able to read the lettering on the jar here. Let me put that on this line here for rule of thirds. His ear is over here. We still got enough troops in the background. That looks good. And then let's go ahead and work with the tones. I'll just crush the blacks like I always do. Let's bring in the shadows. And I think that's it. Now we can see read the lettering here. Let's give a pinch of sharpness like so. Yeah, perfect. And then there's a little thing here. Let me just brush this out. Move this over maybe. Yeah, that, well, uh, I need to, I just want to get rid of that completely. There we go. And maybe some grit. Let's pick a high ISO grain. Yeah, perfect. I like the grain pattern there. Okay, I think I'm done. Oh, you like the backdrop better, huh? I think this jar is more interesting, Plato, because if it was cropped all the way out, the jar itself becomes less dominant in the frame, and that to me is the most powerful message in the image. And then the backdrop of the troops is good enough. You know, you can see at least 3 of them there, and it's implied that there's even more than that because they all got their shields. So I kind of like this better. Um, but yeah, okay, nice shot, Neo. Well, I guess I didn't do my side by side. Let's do the side by side. There's the full image here on the top versus my crop vision. Like I said, the jar is it's front and center, but it's still too small in the frame, so that's why I kind of cropped in. I wanted that to be the dominant thing. But just my it's very subjective, right? It's just what I think. It doesn't matter. All right, let's go to the next one. I've done these. Oh, you like the little grainy touch? Yeah, that I thought that was a nice touch myself. Looks like, yeah, this one here. So Amir has sent in this beautiful landscape. Thank you, John. This is a tough call. This could be, let me just eyeball it here. Yeah, some corrections. I think I can do without this sky. But let me just see what, yeah, the sky's going to be hard to work with, but let me try real quick. Oh, there we go. We were able to pull some of that in. Okay. We need a little perspective correction. I don't know if this will do it automatically or not. Yeah. But we're losing sort of this downhill cliff area here. Let me give this some thought. This feels a little more natural than the original. Here's the original. And when I did the perspective correction, we kind of lost this cliff. That's okay. This is really a different image right in here. I think if we just focus on that part. So let me do this. I like this. Well, yeah, this is fine. Let's go with this. Give us a little different perspective. And then a slight shift in the white balance. Maybe let's try cloudy. It's probably already cloudy. No. That didn't work. Daylight, maybe go a little cooler. Okay, I like that. Just a touch warmer. And I love the greens down in here. I wonder if I just do a simple vibrance, if I can bring out some of that. Yeah. And then let me pull back. I need to pull back on some of the yellows. Okay. All right. A little bit more on the clear view. Oh no, let's do contrast. I think the clear view's fine. Right there. Just give it a little more bite. And the color, if I can increase this cyan blue greenish here, let me try. And a little brighter. Let's narrow that a little bit. Okay, not bad. The white balance needs to be, it's a little bit off. It needs a tiny bit of magenta, I think. Yeah. All right, so that looks good on my screen anyway. The only other thing I might consider is let me see if I can work with the tones just a little bit more. No. Yeah, right there. All right, this was, let's see what this was shot with. I'm curious here. 12 to 40 Pro EM1 Mark III, of course, at f8, perfect settings. Really good job, Amir. Shutter speed's a little on the slow side. But still, I guess with the image stabilization and everything, we're still pretty tack sharp. It looks like. Looks like we did good here. Man, if you stayed here, I'm sure you did. You could take a lot of different pictures here because there's so many angles. And with a 12 to 40 and a little bit of post processing and crop. But okay, enough speculating. Let's do a comparison here. So there's the before and after. Oh God, mine looks so contrasty, like it's a little bit too much contrast now compared to the original. Let me back that off a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, it's too much contrast. All right, so there's the before and after. So you can see the perspective correction. Really, all it needs is a tilt. It doesn't even need the perspective correction, but getting rid of this little cliff right here, I think helps. I can see what you were thinking. This kind of leads you down into the valley, but it's just not the right angle for me. So with the perspective correction here, basically it just cropped in and tilted it. So let's do full screen. Yeah, that's a beautiful, beautiful picture. Definitely a Randy's hang on the wall image, right? Hang on the wall award. Okay, let's see what else we got today. Adrian Evans. Okay, got some bumblebees. Did we get almost got focused there? I think we can fix that though. Let me apply a basic preset, just my auto preset. And you know, for these kind of shots, I always like a nice square crop. I'm gonna just put that bee right there. Now, is he sharp enough? Oh yeah, he's definitely sharp enough. All right, so I can work with that. Let me just pinch the sharpness a bit. Let me see what the deep prime does. Oh, excellent. Excellent there. I can even just widen this a little bit. I'm looking at this window here. Okay, now let's add some punch here. Let's punch the colors and see where they go, because I want that yellow to be stronger. Or the reds, actually. Because right in here is actually a little more red than, well, reddish orange. Let me brighten that up and punch it. Oh, is that? Yeah, that's jacking up a little bit of the background. I'll fix that. Let's just feathering size. Okay. Let's just get rid of this. And get rid of this. Well, all right, that's fine. All right, now let's crush the greens a little bit. The greens and the yellows are a little bit too strong. And let's stay off of the... Yeah, right there. And then let's work with this purple. Okay. And the last thing is some lighting. Maybe just pull the highlights in a tiny bit. Add a vignette. And let's see, let's do a point. I might have to work on this guy individually. Ooh, the heck, did I get a JPEG image? No, this is a RAW. So I'm just pushing the colors too much. 12 to 40 Pro, M5 Mark II, all good stuff. It's my fault. I got a little too aggressive. Getting too aggressive with the editing here. I may take those off. Yeah, that wasn't a great idea. Let me get rid of some of this. Oops. Okay, I think I'm done. uh, oops. Let me just look at the original again. Yeah, I think I'm done. I see Tony likes the wider shot better. It's possible if I cropped in a little taller, put the bee up on the top left, kind of like it's cropped now on the left side. That could work too. I think that's worth giving a shot. Let's do a 4x3. Include some of these other. Yeah, I think you're right, Tony. A little bit. Well, that's still cropped in pretty tight, but a little taller. I think going taller going portrait rather than landscape mode is nicer. All right, let's do a quick comparison. I think that works. So let's just look at mine by itself. Because it's a little bit flat, right? I guess the cloud came over or something. So I just wanted to kind of add some light back in with light painting with the brushes and stuff. Just to make it look like there's a little bit of a side light coming in. And I think that looks pretty good. All right. Oh, that's better, right, Tony? Yeah, I agree. I think that is better. Going a little taller rather than, yeah, the wide shot. Definitely. That way you get some you get a little more perspective about the bee is actually very small compared to the landscape. Whereas the way I cropped it originally, I think the bee, even though we know it's a small bug, it didn't have quite that same feel to it. It just felt like we're zoomed in onto the bug versus now we're looking at this bug as part of the environment. Okay, let's go to the next one. Ivan Peterson. And we have EM10 Mark II with a 40 to 150 kit, 1/200th of a second. Yep, all excellent settings. Okay. I think the same thing here. The lighting's a little bit flat. Let me just apply basic preset and pull out my tools. Yeah, Michael, I think, yeah, Tony made a great suggestion there. I agree 100%. That the crop was a lot better before, or a lot better after going vertical. Let me pull in a little bit of the highlights. I might have to darken this image completely. I'm going to do kind of the same thing. Now let me pull the highlights in. Because now we can see the water droplets on this flower, whereas before it was kind of blown out, right? And I'm going to crop in right in this area because this is the most interesting part. Let me tilt it. Let me tilt it. Yeah, there we go. And maybe just a little bit more, a little less crop or tilt. I want to be right there. And just on this group of flowers right here. A little bit more to the right. Okay. Now let's work with some of the lighting. My light painting hasn't been great lately. Let me see if I can just sharpen this up a bit. Let me pull the luminance back and crank the sharpness up. That should help some. Yeah, there we go. Much better. Okay, colors. We'll add a little vibrancy. Okay. I think I'm pretty content with the color saturation, the overall contrast, and the white balance. Everything looks good. I just need to work with some of the lighting now. So I'm going to do the same thing. Let's just pick a circle, put it way up there, and drag it out this way. I got to be careful I don't push it too far again. Okay, good. Let me see. Yeah, I pushed it too much. So I cannot do that. I'll warm it up on that side. That's a better way to do it. Okay. Now let me brighten the image back up. Probably easier to darken the image, but I won't get the right angle. Let me use a grad. Right about. Okay. Oops, that's color. Hold on. Where's my shadows? Yeah, that's a better way to go. Now I think we can go back to the original exposure. Maybe just a tad right there. Okay, and then some minor. I'm going to try and be minor on the light painting. I need a little dab here. A little less feathering, maybe. Okay. Now, let's warm those up. And push the brightness in the highlights. Okay. Pull this back a little bit. Smaller. Maybe a little bit more. Ah, dang it. Wrong button. All right. This. Okay. All right. What's this about a bend? Embrace the bed. Dave, that's funny. The bent stalk on the bottom right. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right, I'm with you now. Yeah, let's do that. Is it going to come out or not? All right. Good enough. Not perfect. Oh. All right. I just need this grad filter to go a little bit darker, and then I'll be done. All right. I'm going to call it there. Um, so let's do a before and after. Wow, I cropped in quite a bit, but you can see the, here's the before image. You know, we got the sidewalk, we got this grass in the background, but the only interesting thing is right here. And yeah, I would even crop in a little tighter, but the main thing is this flower here, I wanted to make sure you could see the water droplets and stuff like you can over here. And they were just kind of blown out. And then I just did a little dabs of light, you know, around on the flowers. And again, instead of the light being flat, now it looks like the light's kind of coming in from the top right. And then let's look at it full screen. I could have done a little better job with the brushing on the bottom right, but yeah, I think that looks pretty good. You could probably use some kind of framing though. There, white frame. I think that looks pretty good now. Just like that. Okay. Let's go to the next one. One from Ian. Wow. It's beautiful. Let's see how we did here. We're got a little bit of motion blur. I mean, I doubt it's the big ship moving. So, you know, because when you take pictures of boats in the water, you know, you have to use a pretty high shutter speed because they move in the water. But this one looks like it's just, maybe the shutter speed was too slow. Let's see. See our EXIF data. EM5, 12 to 100. Yeah, 1/5 of a second. Yeah, that ain't going to cut it. I mean, it's not bad. It's just when I punched in, I can see right away. It's either shutter shock. It looks very much like shutter shock, but it's most likely just motion blur. All right, let's hit my auto preset. Okay. And I think the composition's fine. It's a little heavy on the left side. It just needs a tilt. What if I do this? That'll probably jack it up. Yeah, that. Let's just give it a little bit of a tilt this way. Okay. And a little bit more brightness. I wonder, there's highlights are pretty strong right here. So let me see if I can brighten everything except that. Okay. I'm just looking at the midtones and things. And then I'll because now it's too bright. I get it, I think, but I just want to get some of the tones that I want to see just right. Then I can work on the rest of it with these other sliders. Like so. Now I'm losing the reds. Can I bring that back with a shadow? Just a tiny bit. But now it's just contrasty. Yeah, Plato thinks this light on the left side is a little distracting. I don't know. I'm inclined to leave it there, but let me just get an idea of what it looks like without it. Uh, hmm. I'm not so sure.
I mean, I'm not trying too hard to get the brush right. I just want to see. Tony agrees also. Interesting. Yeah, I'll work on that last. Let me just work with the bulk of the image. All right. For detail, let me see. I want to make sure that this part is clean. Okay, that's good. I don't think sharpening is gonna fix that motion blur. I'm gonna do a little bit of sharpening. What I'll do is I'll put this in Topaz Sharpen AI. You guys haven't seen me use that yet. It's really good because the motion blur on this is just very slight, and Topaz Sharpen AI is really good with this kind of thing. But let me just get the rest of this image the way I want it to look color-wise and stuff. Lighting-wise, I'd like a little more highlights on the clouds. Maybe let's do a brush. And cut the flow, increase the feather. That's a good size. And let's push the highlights. And clear view. Just erase some of this spillover. Oh. Okay, good. And maybe a little magenta. Let's not mess with that. A little bit warmer. Okay. Go back to the tones. Let me pull the reds. So it's not the magentas. If I hold the control key down, I can see, you know, the parts that get affected. I guess we're okay, right? Just a little bit more. Brighten that up. Eh, I don't know. We'll just add a little saturation and then punch it this way. Wow, this, you know, this perspective correction is annoying. Let me turn these off real quick while I'm working on it. Because every time I do a color correction, it kind of jumps back. That's kind of annoying. All right. I kind of overdid it up here.
We'll just work with the tones. Yeah, that's fine. All right, we're getting there. I need to... All right, let me just do a quick eyeball on the crop. If I pull that out, I have to do something to balance this. If I can have the bow right there. All right, now let's work with the... Okay. I need some... I mean, I don't want to do black and white, but I just want to see where my tones are. I'm having a little hard time with all the color with the tones. I mean, it looks great in black and white, but I think the color is a lot more interesting. I'm just gonna work in black and white for a minute to get my tones right, because the color is really distracting me. Do a tight grad. Ellie, stop. She keeps bumping my leg and making me overcorrect a little bit. All right, let's try. Yeah, Lysippus likes the light on the left. I wasn't too... I mean, that light didn't bother me too much, to be honest. But I just wanted to see it because a couple of people said they didn't like it. I may recrop at the end to put it back in, but let me just work with this as it is, because I'm just having a hard time seeing. I'm not getting the tones I want in this image. That's a little better. Still not quite right. Okay. Then if I... What color was that boat again? Blue and red. Oh, yeah, that's starting to look like a really good black and white, even though that wasn't my intent. Ooh, I like... Okay, I gotta stay away from black and white today. Let me just stay with color. I don't know. God, now I feel like this image is more about tones than the color. I mean, the red and the blue is kind of nice, but... And these purples and blue sky.
I don't know. I'm kind of liking this right here. If I play with, see, now I'm kind of getting the tones I like in this red. This was my biggest challenge for me on this image, was getting the tones right in here. And I can pull the magentas down to give it even more texture. Pull the blue down. Ooh, there's a blue everywhere, but that's okay. I can bring the cyan up, maybe. There's no cyans. Yeah, Dave likes the colors. Dang it, I'm really digging this black and white though. Me. Wow. I like this. Um, I don't know. If we put this light back in, it looks terrible in black and white with that light there. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning to no light. I'm gonna go with that. I like how I composed it here. A little bit off the bottom. A little bit off the top. No, that's too much. I need a little wider shot. Maybe a 3x2. Yeah, I definitely jacked up the tones on the, which one is it? Is it this one? No. Okay, what I have to do with the tones in the clouds is, let me just make sure I didn't do any contrast here. I can soften that up a bit. I like the highlights and the midtones. Okay. All right, now let's try and sharp. I like this. I like the black and white. We just have to get rid of this motion blur, right? Which is a little bit. Let me pull this back a little. No, you can't go backwards from TIFF back to RAW. I don't think so. Yeah. All right, we're almost there.
And then we'll do the AI sharpen, which is really cool. You guys are going to like it. All right, so let me export this because, you know, when I punch in, you can see all this noise, right? And definitely there's a little bit of motion blur or camera shake. So we're gonna clean this up. So I'm gonna export this and put it into Topaz Sharpen. Let's just do a TIFF. Original folder, 16-bit. Okay. So we'll give that a second. I don't know why I went black and white, because the colors were really not bad. Let me just look at the color again. Oh, I jacked up the colors because of this channel mixer. It works, but I did all that work with the black and white tones that I wanna stick with it. Maybe if I pull a little bit back in this way. Nah. Okay, so now that we have that, let's find the. Okay, so here's the image cleaned up, right? So I cleaned up all of the noise for the most part. So what I'm going to do now is, you see all this motion blur? We're going to work with this. Whoops. Let's work with this in Topaz real quick. And sharpen AI. Okay, that's good. Sorry, John. I was about to read your chat there, but so motion blur, normal. Oh, it's still updating. All right. There's a little progress bar down here, bottom right. Let's wait for that to update. That should clean it up. All right. Yeah, that's definitely better. It added a little bit too much noise though. Let's do suppress noise. Not that the noise looked that bad, but if we can minimize it a little more. Yeah. I like that. That tiny bit of motion blur that we got, you know, the Sharpen AI is really good at just minor motion blur. If it was any stronger than this, it would have had some trouble. Let me crank up the noise reduction a little bit more. I should have done a little more in DXO first, but I'm going to do this one more time, and then we'll export this and then do a final comparison. Yeah, that's... But yeah, you see that? Look at that. As I go over, and I'm punched in at 100%. But okay, that looks good. Let's do apply. Okay, get some water. See what John was saying. Hi, Rob. Ever since I qualified as a professional in 1970, I've been trying to get away from black and white. Then we had little choice. Yeah. Okay, I think I understand. And Dave asks, yeah, you can't convert TIFF back to Ollie Raw. You have succeeded in giving some starburst effect to the lights. The black and white is nice. Okay, thanks. I don't know. What do you guys think about the black and white? I mean, you can see Topaz takes a while to actually do the whole image, but it really does work on minor sharpness issues better than uh, anything else alone. I mean, DXO gets you really close though. But okay, let's see if I think this is the final image. Yeah. I use DXO. DXO denoise actually gets applied last. There's the final image. Wow. I think that came out really nice. That's pretty. I could have worked on the highlights a little bit better on the ship itself, but that's okay. I like the contrast and the way the tones came out. And I think I would have to. Yeah, right, Tony? Um, I think if we did a poll, you get a 50-50. Half would like color, half would like black and white. Whoops. That's not how I want to compare. Let me open this in Fast Stone. Yeah. And then we'll compare this to the original. I love Fast Stone. I forget who told me about it, but it was one of you guys here in the stream told me about Fast Stone, and I was like, oh, that is cool. Yeah, there's not that much grain. I don't know. Fast Stone is jacking up the preview here a little bit, but there's the before and after, kind of. Um, yeah, I think taking this light out was the right choice for me. We don't need to see that there's a bright light source over here because it's all on the ship. So I think it's kind of given. Um, but yeah, if we look at this image, if we look at the normal process, Fast Stone messes it up a little bit, but this looks really good. Wow, that took a lot of work. But I'm happy. Personally, I'm happy with the final thing. All right, how do I get back to my stream? There we go. All right, so yeah, that looks really good. Who is that? That was Ian's. Good job, Ian. All right, so that was that. Let's go to this. We got some columns. So I think the story here is just showing this is kind of an abandoned area or not maintained at all. It looks like it might be part of a much larger structure, this house or something. Man, what a shame. How do these beautiful homes and places like this just go to waste, you know, neglected like this? I think if I do a perspective correction, it's going to look really wonky. Yeah, that's not going to work. I think definitely a tone. Let me look at some presets. Hmm. No, that's terrible. I'm gonna I'm going to try this. Compositionally, though, oh my goodness, it's Ben. Ben is here. How you doing, Ben? Well, you kind of walked in on like a really hard edit here. I'm having a hard time finding a composition for this. Uh, if I just get the window and ignore the columns. What if I do this now? Back it off a little bit. I just want the window. And let's make it a little bit grittier. Okay. Yeah, hey Gigafish. I had to just finish the edits from yesterday. I didn't get through them all, so I'm just doing that. A horizontal might look good better with the columns. Yeah, I might have to back off this crop. If I back off the crop, then I can do some more interesting things with the light, I think. Maybe maybe right in here. Not really. I mean, I can. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. Let me look at the crop again. Uh, all right, forget about the straight lines and everything like that. We're just gonna do a horizon tilt and then just use most of the image. We're just gonna crop in a little bit to center things. And then I'm gonna work a lot with the lighting. cool this off. Try and make it look a little bit like Twilight, maybe. We need a soft brush, lots of feathering. Let's see. Let's do. Wait. All right. All right. Let me just eyeball this. Okay. Maybe a little less or a little bit more magenta. Okay. I need a different brush now. What happened to my... Oh, there it is. All right. Need a little different brush for this stuff. Okay. All right, good. All right, now let's work on the crop just a little bit. Either that or work with the sky. Yeah, let's do this. One more. One more overlay. Like so. Whoops. Dang it. There we go. Wrong button. I'm a little torn about what I should do about the brightness here. All right, I think I'm done. I'm just I don't like this brightness over here so much, but I want the light to come in onto the columns itself. I don't know how to do that without spending a lot of time fixing the sky. I'm going to try one more brush. This time we'll use a we'll use a masking brush this time. And see if I can just darken just this part. Oh, that helps, yeah. And now just crop off the top. Come on. Let me close down some of my other. So maybe 4x5. Yeah. All right, I'm done. Boy, that was a hard one. Let's do the before and after. Wow, spent a lot of time on that. I missed a little ball down here. I could paint a little bit of yellow light on there, but I think that's it. Man. All right, who sent this in? That was a good workout. Thanks, Jose. That was a toughie, but I think we got there eventually. Yeah, I tried to do a perspective correction, but then it started to get too wonky and just not look right. See, I could click this. Let me turn off the compare. I don't know why my computer's dragging today. Let me turn this off. Yeah, it just got a little too wonky. I could crop in from here, I suppose. So, something like that, right? I mean, I don't think that's really much better. Now all my light painting is off. The light painting didn't carry with the perspective correction, so let's just go back to this. That's an interesting find. I didn't realize that. Yeah, I think this is the way to go. So full screen final edit. I mean, maybe a little bit of perspective correction wouldn't hurt, but it's too late now. I did my light painting already. And apparently the light painting doesn't follow the perspective correction too well. Okay, let's go to the next one. John follows. Ooh, okay. Nice little stream. Let's just do a quick auto preset. And let me crop in. It's a little bit too much sky. And I'm going to put more of the river off to the right. And then to the left. Let's try that right there. Okay, that feels a little better. See if we can just, oops, just fix a little bit of the highlights here. Let me get a bigger brush. All right. Okay. So the sky is decent. Let's work with the colors. If I pull the greens down a little bit, it's actually the yellows. All right, let's not do it that way. I like the shadows. I like the shadows here. God, I hate to crop in even more, but let me. I might have to just. Yeah, that's better.
little bit too much river now. Okay. Wow, that's rough. I wonder if a grad filter will fix some of the lighting that I want to change here. A little bit tighter. I'd like the shadow to come over here a little bit more. Chrome luminance. Let me see something. What did you use? An 8 to 25? Yeah, 8 to 25 EM1X ISO 400. Wow. It's bright. Now this water looks a little unnatural though. I'll fix that. All right. Right about there. Maybe the midtones. And I need to erase a little bit more. All right. Okay, that's good. I don't want to darken too much. I need one more grad filter. Oops. Oh no, I can use the one that's here. Hold on. It's the color is a little bit off because shadow areas are generally a little bit cooler. I'm just going to pull that back. Just a tiny bit.
flow. Let's turn this down a little bit. A little bit there. It's interesting because the light's coming from the right. So I don't know why I'm painting that side. Let me get rid of this. Let me start over. I misread the light. The light's coming in from here. So I need to just do a little bit like this. Maybe just touch in here. Fix that one. All right. Now, that's too bright, but I just want to see where my brushes are. Okay. So let's warm it up first. Okay. Good. Get rid of this. And this. And that. And that a little bit. Definitely that. And just a touch there. All right. Now let's turn this flow down a bit. There we go. Why is that pulling off? It's pulling off more than I want. Well, all right. Just leave it. Okay, and some final touches on contrast. I pull back this a little bit because it's got a little too much bite. Maybe maybe do it this way instead. Yeah, the water has a little bit of purple. That's the chromatic aberration. That should go away if I export it. Because sometimes in the preview, it just, yeah, see when I zoom in, you're no longer in that sort of preview mode and it goes away. But when I back off, so I'd have to actually export the image to see it without all of this purple fringing, I think, which I might do. I don't know how much diffusion. And then pull in some of the blacks. Push the shadows a little bit. They've overdone it on the softening. This is not a tool I use a lot, but I want to. I'm not so sure. Yeah, the soft filter's not working too well. I think I'll leave it here. Let me see the before. It needs a little brightness. I've kind of, where's my comp? I don't know. I'm still liking this little bit of a surreal look. It just have to be brighter if I'm going to do that. It's weird, on my other monitor, this looks better than it does on the monitor I'm editing with. But all right. I'm going to call it. Let me export it from here so we can kind of see. Just export as a JPEG. Yeah. So there's the before. All I did was crop in a little bit, soften it, and shift the lighting. I felt like there was just way too much light on the bottom, especially with the water being so bright. So I just tried to make this shadow line carry over, but then just leave a couple of spots or patches of light. And I think that looks pretty good. I wish the contrast was a little stronger. On this monitor, it's not quite as strong. That's better. I mean, that's a little exaggerated, but let me export it this way. Okay, now I'm done. So there's let's see what it looks like. Where's the exported image? It's here. All right, that's my final edit. A little more surreal. And like I said, there was so much light on the bottom of the image. I had to put that grad filter in. If I could, I would add a little bit more light right here, just a touch. But other than that, I think this is pretty much where I would land with this, with an edit. And also the crop was not only to get rid of the sky, because there was a lot of sky, but also to make the river bend more to the right on the bottom right, because before I felt it was a little bit too centered. So moving it over to the right a little bit. So if we look at the original image here, there's the original. It's still coming from the bottom right, but it's not quite as dominant as I think this is. This feels a little more dominant bottom right. But okay, yeah, great image, John. The soft focus is kind of very optional here. I was kind of going back and forth with that. I mean, it looks pretty good without it, but for a live stream, I'm going to add it. All right, thanks for sending that. Oh, you sent another one here. All right, let's see. This is another tough one. Yeah, the feedback seems like don't do these fast. Take my time, right, John? John Yutze saying that we're learning more by me taking my time with them. There's a guy here. Okay, cool. And this is a rock. Is that the trail or is that just some rocks? No, that's part of the trail, I think. You can even see the types of brakes on the bike. Interesting. Let me see. You can even see, really? I'm not seeing that, but okay. Maybe I don't know what I'm looking at sometimes. Let's just do a standard auto preset. Okay. Let's pick out the elements. Obviously, the guy on the bike is a keeper, right? The sky is optional. This tree is kind of a keeper, but it's so far away from the bicyclist. So I would go biker, tree. So how about, and this trail. So these are the three elements I think I'll keep. If there needs to be three, those would be the three. And everything else can go. Oh, disc rather than rim. Okay. I see what you mean. Yeah, I see the little disc right here, right? And we'll sharpen this up. And this looks like it says Cannondale over here. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. What this 300 millimeter f4, I bet. I'm going to look. Let's see. Oh, this is the 8 to 20. Why would I say 300 millimeter on a wide angle shot like this? Oh my God. I'm losing it. Look at a wide angle shot and say, oh yeah, that must be the 300 millimeter. What an idiot. Yeah, so the 8 to 25 is a really sharp lens apparently when you nail it, right? It's like okay. Let's work with these three elements. I'll work with the lighting after I get the composition, because sometimes when I look at an image, sometimes the composition is so off or so different than what I want to do that I have to do the composition first before I work on color. And then other times the composition is pretty close to what I'm thinking, so I work on the colors first, right? So I got the trail right here going to the biker. I got my tree. So this has all the elements that I want, but it's still something off. Maybe tilt it in this way. It might be too much. Okay. So let's make a decision here. Do we keep the whole tree or have it kind of come into the frame this way? I need more tree. Every time I say I need more of something, I always think of that skit from Saturday Night Live. We need more cowbell. More cowbell. If you guys have not seen the cowbell Saturday Night Live skit, you definitely got to YouTube that. All right, this kind of works because the tree is just part of the element, so it's not the main subject, right? It's just part of the scene, so I think this works, this composition. Because I cut off some of the tree, but that's okay. It's kind of framing the bottom left corner. This trail's framing that side. This bush is kind of framing the guy. And then we got these rows of grass. All right, let's work on the color now. Yeah, the biker is very small, but he's definitely, in this case, the biker is just one element of the scene, I think. I feel like he's more of an accent to the scene. So we have to,
from this point, my goal is to really make the landscape look great, and then the biker will just become sort of an accent to that scene. So I need to separate the biker a little bit more so he stands out, which is tough because it looks like he's wearing blue. Well, he's got gray. Yeah, he's got a gray shirt and black pants, but the bike is blue. So it's going to be a little tough. But I'll try. You know, like if I do my normal lighting, like I can darken the landscape and just highlight some of the areas with some light. Let me add a little vignette first. This scene could that looks like crap. Forget this. Forget the vignette this time. You never heard of that skit, Cowbell? Oh my God, I can't believe it, Ben. That is the best ever. It has what's his name in it? Christopher. I can't remember his name now. He's like one of my favorite actors. So if we throw some light on half the scene this way, right? You know, I like this. I like this grad filter. No, okay, so I'm at 1.5 stops. Let's pull this down. This way. Christopher Walken, thank you. Thank you, Andrew. Christopher Walken is hilarious. He always gets these very serious roles, but when he does his comedy stuff, he is hilarious. Okay, I'm gonna push that 2 stops. Maybe we don't need this. A little bit. All right. That'll do for now. And I've already done this. Let me try something else. And then we'll do the same thing like I did on the last image. Let's just add a little bit of shadow on this side. Okay. I need to navigate a little bit. Is that, yeah, just a touch here. All right, good enough. And let's just push the shadows. Pull the blacks in. Definitely the midtones. I don't think there's any highlights there. Oh, a little bit. Yeah, I like that. Okay. All right. Wow, that's a lot of work on a little tree, but okay. A little more light. A little warmth. A little magenta. Hold on. Do about 68. Okay, so tree, biker, detail. Tiny bit of sharpness. Yeah. There we go. Oh, did Rick come in? I'm sorry, I didn't see. Hey, Rick. Yeah, yeah, it's really sad what happened to Magrat. Rick let me know the other day, but I didn't say anything in the streams, because it's not really my place to talk about those things. But yeah, that was really sad. So we all share our deepest sympathies and condolences with you, Rick. Seriously, it's gonna make me tear up thinking about Magrat now. Ugh. Yeah, I'm dealing with this. A little brightness. Okay, I'm going to exaggerate it a little bit because I think once I back out. All right, that's
Let me just do a quick. So this filter needs just a little bit more warmth. And this one I need to brighten up because I'm going to darken. Oh, let's do it. Okay. Let's pull this down. Oops. A little bit more. And then cool it off. I think that's all I can do. Maybe a little tighter crop. Because, yeah, the bicyclist is definitely a little too small in the frame. I lost a little bit of the trail. Let's do 5x4. I think that's the best I can do. So let's look at it full screen. Needs to render out a little bit more, but I mean, at least, you know, what I tried to do is like, I don't want people to miss the biker because he's so tiny in the frame. So I put all the light on the right side again so that, you know, because your eye is always going to start with the brightest part. So I think it's almost impossible to miss the biker now when you look at this image, right? And then you can kind of look around towards the tree, which has a little bit of a highlight on the branches, which I brushed in so that that's the next thing that catches your eye. The only element I didn't really do too well here is this trail. It probably could have used a little bit of light. Let me do that and then we'll call it. And then some warmth. Yeah, too much on the highlights. I just want this wall to be a little more dominant too. Ah, this. All right, I'm going to call it. I think I'm just trying too hard now. Yeah, I think, hold on, I think Rick had a great idea here. Cheat would be to change the cyclist shirt to be red. Yeah, a little contrast, right? Um, Dang, that's a great idea. A red shirt. That wouldn't be too hard either. I don't think. Let me use a new brush. If I do... Yeah, a little bigger. So, what do I need? I need color. I'm shifting it blue. A little bit here, and then there we go. Since this is not Photoshop, I have to kind of fake it. All right, let's see how that looks. A little darker, right? So this one. All right, let's see how that looks. All right, hardcore cheat, but needs to render. Give it a second. Hopefully that red will pop in a little more. Yeah, there we go. So definitely now you can't miss them, right? Mm. All right, that's the best I can do. So let's look at the before and after. Uh, so there's the before. You know, just kind of a flat, cloudy, you know, soft image. And then on the right, like I said, I put the light up at the top right to kind of get your eyes to start there, see the biker, then come down and look at the tree, maybe see the trail, right? So it's kind of a backwards loop this way. This doesn't work if you're red, green, and colorblind. Yeah, it's a little cramped. I agree, Rick. I wasn't a fan of chopping it off or not giving it any breathing room. But then the biker gets so small in the frame, if I crop it any wider, I just felt like, good enough. Okay. That was, man, that was about as hard as it gets. Thanks, John. Thanks for the challenge. I don't mind them when they're really hard like that, because there's a shot there, right? It's just, can I get it? All right. Okay, this needs a little bit of perspective correction and a lot of cropping. So let me click that. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to crop into just, let's do a vertical. Just right here. Let's do a little smaller. Let's do a 5x4. Okay. Oh, I didn't apply my auto yet. Let me apply my auto preset and recrop this. Oh, I didn't. Okay. Let's do 5x4. Come in. Okay. Needs a little bit of a tilt. And let's see if we can nail the white balance a little better. Let's pick, I don't know, right here looks good. Okay, good. And I don't think my perspective correction's working too well. So we need just a little bit more light on the building itself. This is going to be a little bit hard to brush. Um, okay. Uh, I think that's about it. Let me work on this grad filter a little bit more. I think I can spread this out a little more. Oops, nope, not with, yeah, that's fine. Okay, I think that's it. All I did was add some light from the left side. There's the before, there's the after. So we'll do it side by side. So there's the before image, right? It's like the top of some office center or shopping center. Really dramatic, right? But that little beam coming down is, again, it's kind of like the biker. It's very small in the frame. It's probably like 5% of the frame. So I just cropped in so it's more like 10% at least. And this is my, let's let that render out. But this will be my final edit. You know, it's just occurred to me why I think it's because I felt like this thing's been a little bit slow yesterday and today. I think it's because I turned off the GPU acceleration. Um, but yeah, that's so that's the before, right? And that's the after. So it needs to be tilted a little bit, but yeah, for the most part, I think that works. Oh, one more. Okay, from Dave Nelson. So where's my Photoshop flames, right? And then after this, we'll do the viewer edits. Whoops. I wanted to see this Nikon. Oh, so this is a film. Nikon Super Cool Scan. So there's going to be grain and everything. Yeah, that rocks. All right. Okay, so really, I don't want to mess with the colors too much because film has that its own natural, organic colors, right? So I'm not going to mess with that too much. But I definitely need to crop in. Maybe let's do 16 by 9. Yeah, I think that works. And maybe a little bit of smart lighting. I'm trying to remember why I turned it off. Um, Dang it. Let me see. Edit, preferences. Let me just double check. Auto select. I didn't turn it off. Naval. All right, let's do that. Anyway, so I'm gonna pick that and then just see if I can deal with some of the that didn't make much difference. I can do it manually. Not too much. And let's just saturate the colors a little bit.
I mean, I don't mind pushing shadows and highlights on film because that's always relative to how you scanned it, the dynamic range of the image, right? And usually the colors, assuming you did TIFF 16-bit, we got plenty of colors to work with, but I don't want to touch the colors because this is film. Yeah, that's looking a little bit unnatural. Honestly, I think this is all I would do with this image. I mean, if this were a digital file, I would consider doing some other things like, you know, adjusting the white balance like this. Ooh, wow, that's rough. Yeah, you can't do it. You can't do it with film. Um, Film, you have to kind of leave as close. You know, I'm a little bit more of a purist when it comes to film than I am with digital. So let's do a comparison. Um, so yeah, the only problem I really had with this image is the composition, right? Because you're shooting probably a 50 millimeter or 28 millimeter full frame vintage lens, and uh, you don't have much choice. And unless you're on a boat or a canoe, you're not going to be able to change. You know, you're not going to be able to zoom with your feet with a scene like this. So basically, all your only choice left is to crop in. So I felt like there was too much water and too much sky in the scene. And then from the top left, I liked how this mountain kind of just framed everything, you know, here. And there wasn't much going on beyond. Uh, let's see. What's the wrong button? There wasn't much going on to the right. I mean, there's a little bit of a mountain here. That's not bad, actually. It's almost like a pano would be better. Let's do a 16 by 10. That's still not going to cut it. Let's do unconstrained. I like that little bit of a rock. Let's try that. Okay. I think that works. Super wide, right? Just crop in. I like this. I like this composition a little better. That's all. Other than that, it's like I said, I'm a little more purist when it comes to working with film. I try to keep it as to the original film stock as possible. Other than highlights and shadows, those things are very dependent on how it was scanned. Okay, as well as color, but not quite as much. Let's go to the viewer edits. I think that was the last one. Um, yeah, I've done all of these. So the original image, let me just pull that up. And let me just mark it somehow. So this is the original image, right? So my thinking, you know, I had a real hard time with this structure. It should be it should be very photogenic and something really awesome to get photos of. But I struggled with this, you know, and I spent a couple hours there, maybe at least an hour, but probably closer to 2 hours trying to get some decent shots. And I couldn't. I just couldn't do it. So anyway, I gave you the guys this image, which to me compositionally makes sense. You know, in a technical way, you got kind of leading lines, you got nice verticals, you got diagonals. I mean, everything is there geometrically, but it's just I thought this picture sucked. But anyway, let's see what you guys did. Um,
Start up here from Neo. Ah, okay. I like the black and white. Obviously, I'm a big black and white fan. But then um, the blurring, sort of a circular blurring, is interesting. That's an interesting effect. And I like the white framing, definitely. But yeah, good job with the tones on the black and white. You know, you do everything I like to do. Crush the blacks, push the highlights a little, and then vignette, but instead of a dark vignette, it looks like you went with a blur vignette. All right. This one here, this is an interesting crop. Who did this one? This was, oh, it's got my EXIF data there. So I have to look at the file name. Where's image information? Oh, I don't know how to look at the file name from here. I'm sure there's a way. But anyway, let's look at this edit. Black and white, more muted tones, right? And the stairway is starting right up in here, coming down. So you went with this line here, corner to corner. Oh, Jonas, okay, this is yours. So I like this. I like the diagonal of the stairs and where you place them in the frame for this crop. And all of the tones and everything are really nice too. So this is a good edit of a boring picture, really. All right. Okay. This is a clean. This reminds me of an edit that Walter would do. Walter Rowe. I haven't seen him in a while online. I see him personally. We went out on a photo walk last week to a car show, but online I haven't seen him much. But anyway, nice clean edit. No, it doesn't look like there was any cropping or anything done. I wonder who did this. If I go to the photo library, I can see the file name. Oh, Lena. Okay, Lena, good job. This Walter would love this edit. he's a really good friend of mine. Okay. Cool. Because you really brought the details in and everything. Very clean. And oh, if I back off a little bit, you can see the vignetting also. So this is this is a good edit. Wow, this is totally different, right? Opposite. You have white vignetting, sort of a bluish cyan or tint to it. Selenium tint, I guess is what they call it. I like it. I like it. I really like how you just blew out the sky entirely with this vignette, and then everything inside is soft. This was from Raho. Good job, Raho. Really good. I like it a lot. I would have never thought to do a white vignette on this. Ooh, somebody went to the other side of this image with the brickwork and the fences. This is a very cluttered part of the scene, right? Crush the blacks. I don't know. I don't think, I'm not a fan of this edit for me, right? I wouldn't have done this. But I think it's an interesting perspective you took, just going to that side and forgetting about what really, to me, was the main area of the photo. This part of the photo, though, I'm just trying to find some geometry or some information or something that would help me with this. Oh, this is you again, Raho? Let's see who this was. No, this is from Ian. Okay, sorry, you were talking about your own photo. I thought maybe this was yours again. Okay, Ian, this is an interesting edit. I'd have to look at this one for a while to appreciate it more. Because it's not bad, really. It's just something. I mean, this structure here now becomes kind of the dominant part of the frame. All right, let's go to the next one and zoom back out. Oh my God, I bet this is Surge. It's a little bit like, I don't know. Well, I'm not going to say Surge. His edits are a little different sometimes. Wow, this is a very surreal HDR kind of look, right? We got some strong reds all in here to contrast with the greens. This blue sky, though, wow, that's direct. Yeah, I don't know. I like it though overall. Overall, it's a very interesting edit. Let's see, I did this one. Image Rider, all right. And this one is Icopin. Oh, okay, he was here yesterday, I think. Look at that. He just went stairs only. Forget the rest. I did try and do shots like this too myself, actually in camera and without doing it in post. But yeah, you're doing a simple 45-degree diagonal. Oh, excuse me. What time is it? Oh my God. Oh my God. It's almost 3 hours. No wonder. No wonder. Okay. Let's get through these. Wow. Nice. This is more of a filmy look, right? With this much grain though, I'd go black and white. I don't know too many color films that have this much grain in a daylight scene, but still, it's an interesting interesting edit. Where's image information? There's got to be. Oh, here. This is from Ivan. Okay, Ivan. Nice. Ooh, look at this. This is like a oil painting. This is very similar to Image Rider, where you went to the other side. But this person didn't go quite as far. So they put the structure front and center versus being to the left. I like this composition. And the fact that you did this oil painting thing, I bet this is Demorkin. The fact that there's an oil painting kind of look to it really takes away a lot of the grittiness of the image and just makes it more about the shapes, right? And the colors versus all the grit and decay and everything. I like this a lot. I think this is my favorite so far. So image process, so Control I got to remember that. Demorkin, yeah, I knew it was Demorkin. And this one, another, oh, this is, oh, I'm not a fan of this. Because this blur and this blur here, it looks like somebody put Vaseline on the lens. I like the colors. The tones are pretty good, but I don't like this this softness personally. This is Demorkin again. Depth of field edit. Yeah, it didn't work in this case, I don't think. If you're trying to go for a shallow depth of field look, it's almost a miniaturization type look more than a depth of field look. Okay, let's see what else we got. Oh, this is at least, this is probably 16 by 10. Interesting. Interesting edit. This is totally opposite, right? It's very, very gritty. Let's see who did this one. Oh, Demorkin again. Man, you are going to town on this. I like that first one you did the best, actually, the painting one. I like this one. For some reason, a white vignette works on this image for me. And then the muted tones and everything, this is pretty nice. I like this a lot.
Let's see who did this one. DeMorkin again. Yeah, good job on this one. I like this one. Oh, what the heck is going on here? This is just a zoom blur effect applied. But you can still see what's going on, kind of, but I don't know. Who did this one? Scott Mumford. Okay, thanks, Scott. I don't see it. Fast train ride. Oh, I see, I see. So you're trying to mimic like a train going by. That's interesting. And, oh, you know, this crop actually is really good. It gets rid of that. Remember I was talking about how the right side was just so cluttered looking, but this gets rid of all of that and just focuses on just the cement parts. John follows. Okay, good job. I like this. I like this crop a lot. All right, this is Dave Nelson. I don't even have to look at the thing, but that's awesome. That is awesome. Because, yeah, if we ever use this Ford again, this is what they would probably put on top, right? Or these rocket launchers. Because in the old days, I think there were actually cannons on top of this. This is, yeah, Dave Nelson. No, without a doubt. That's awesome, Dave. Thanks. And, oh, interesting. Nice gritty black and white. I'm digging the softer images today for some reason, but normally I do like these edits a little better. John Truman, okay. Yeah, this does kind of have your look. If you ever see John Truman's images on Flickr, you know, in the Flickr group or on his own Flickr page, he does a really great job with his black and whites, and this has that signature look that he has. All right, let's see what else we got. This one, let me zoom out. Okay, this is, I don't think there was any, there's a tiny bit of crop and just processing here. So, yeah, nice conversion. Crushed the blacks a little bit, but didn't do any color processing in terms of like adjusting the tones by color, but it's okay. Let's see, DeMorkin again. Wow. Ooh, look at that. I like this vintage look. I'm a little torn with the vintage look. If you're going to take a vintage photo, it seems like the buildings and things should be in good shape because you're taking a picture of things when they should have been in better repair, right? Like more new. But then you take a picture of an old building and then you make it vintage. It's kind of a double negative. I mean, I really like the look and the editing of this. I definitely like it. I'm just thinking it's kind of a oxymoron. I don't know what the right word is between taking a picture of something very old and making the picture itself look very old. It just seems like a double negative to me. But okay, but I do like this edit a lot. This was John Burlinson. Yeah, good job. Good job. All right, let's see. Oh, this is interesting. Vertical crop. I would have never thought of that. And this is the challenge. These stairs are just always a challenge. If you were at I would love you guys to go on a photo walk here and try and get some good shots because I was dying. In a place that I should be awesome at, you know, architecture, but I was hurting. But I like the cool tones. This is good. I like this crop. Good job, Phil. Ah, okay. I like the selenium tone or this purplish blue.
It's kind of a purplish blue. I like this. I don't know why I like purple lately, or lavender, but and you crop the stairs out almost completely. That may not be a bad idea, because the stairs are such a eyesore sometimes. I don't know why the stairs I had a hard time with. But okay, let's see who this was. I like this edit though. Jarrett, good job, Jarrett. I really like this slight tint that you put to it, and the crop is interesting. Okay, good crop. Good tones. It's a little too green overall. Just maybe just a little more magenta, but let's see. That's what I would do. David, all right, David. Oh my goodness. I don't think David's ever submitted an edit. That's cool. Yeah, Lysippus agrees, right? Removing the stairs was a good thing, because those stairs, they should be the signature piece of the photo. But all it does is mess it up somehow. I don't know. Anyway, I've complained enough about this this composition, because you guys didn't do the composition I did, right? But okay, nice, David. I would like a little more magenta, but that's about it. And oh, I like this. I bet the oh god. Oh my god, I'd sound like Casey now on Camera Conspiracies. Oh no. I like this edit. This has got to be Marcel. Marcel's really good at you know, the light painting and stuff that I've been doing lately. He's much better at it than I am. Yeah, I knew it was Marcel. Good job, Marcel. Almost looks like it's lit by moonlight. Yeah. And oh, here's kind of a gritty look. Let me full screen this, because when you start adding grain and things, it's hard to appreciate, you know, when it's kind of too small. Look at the fence here. It looks all polished and golden, like right in here. That's interesting. All of it, actually. So whatever you did to process this, it made the handlebars really really look like brand new. And I like the little splash of red right here, this little accent in the corner. Yeah, this is a great edit. I did this one. Marcel again. Yeah, good job, Marcel. Good job. Good job catching the red here. I like this. This little accent of red in the corner. That is awesome. And this is the original image, I believe. Let me see. I'm going to be embarrassed if it's not. Hold on. Yeah, this is the original. I was going to say, if somebody edit the picture and it looks just like the original, I'd be like, I don't know what I would say. But yeah, this is what makes this image is the handlebars that Marcel did and this little splash of red. To me, that makes the entire image. Overall, the editing's really good. It's different than what I would do, but definitely about 99% there. So, whew, man, this was a long one. I thought I'd be done in no time with these edits today. But let me go back to my IT crowd thing. So thanks everybody for staying with me. If you've been here this long, I'm impressed. I need to get some lunch and some coffee because I'm exhausted. But there were some great edits from you guys today. I really appreciate you working on my image. I'll try and send another one out next week, and we'll see if I have to. I'll try and spend more time on every edit instead of doing them very fast. I mean, some I should do faster. I spend too long on them, and then other ones I don't spend enough time on. So I'm going to have to find that balance. But it's good practice for me to get the really hard ones. Like I got some hard ones today, but I think they came out pretty good. I think of all the images I edited today, man, I like my boat that Ian sent in. This to me was my favorite for the day. Oh, you guys can't see that. Yeah, this one here. Ah, that's my favorite image of the day. But okay, you guys have a great week. I should be back Sunday. I'm not 100% sure about a live stream on Sunday because I'm teaching a class Sunday also. But just check my channel. Okay, so you guys have a good week, good weekend, and I will try not to take 10 minutes to figure out where the end stream button is. All right, see you guys later.